Have you ever walked into a room and instantly noticed that someone looked at you for half a second? Or replayed a conversation from 3 days ago because you suddenly realized the other person paused before answering? Maybe you've noticed the tiny change in someone's voice, the fake smile that lasted just a little too long, or the fact that your friend said, "I'm fine," but somehow you knew they weren't. Some people never notice these things, but some people notice almost everything. Every expression, every tone, every awkward silence, every little change. It's almost like their brain refuses to stop collecting information. Sounds like a superpower until it isn't, because the same awareness that helps you understand people can also become the reason you overthink everything. So why are some people so aware of everything around them? Are they simply more intelligent, more anxious, or is something much stranger happening inside their brain? Let's find out. Imagine your brain is like a security camera. Most people's camera records only what's important. But for highly aware people, it's recording in 8K with infinite zoom and somehow refuses to stop. While everyone else is enjoying the party, your brain is busy noticing who seems uncomfortable, who's pretending to laugh, who hasn't spoken in 20 minutes, who looked at the door when a certain person entered. Your brain keeps collecting tiny clues without asking permission. Psychologists call this selective attention, but in some people, that attention becomes incredibly sensitive. It's almost like their brain says, "Hey, this tiny detail might matter later." The funny part? Most of those details never matter, but your brain stores them anyway, just in case. Here's something fascinating. The human brain loves patterns. That's literally how we survive. If our ancestors recognized the pattern of animal tracks, they survived. If they ignored them, well, they probably became lunch. Thousands of years later, your brain still does the same thing. Except now, instead of looking for predators, it's looking for emotional patterns. You start noticing things like, my friend always texts differently when they're upset. My boss uses shorter emails before giving criticism. My partner always touches their hair when they're nervous. Sometimes you're absolutely right. Other times, your brain creates patterns that don't actually exist. That's called patternicity. Our brains would rather invent a connection than risk missing one, which explains why highly aware people sometimes become amazing at reading others, and other times completely convince themselves of something that was never real. Let's do a quick experiment. Someone sends you this message. Okay, that's it. Just, okay. Some people read it, smile, and move on. Highly aware people, their brain immediately opens 50 browser tabs. Why only one word? Why no emoji? Are they upset? Did I say something wrong? Should I explain? Should I apologize? Should I send another message? 5 minutes later, you're analyzing punctuation like you're solving a crime scene. The brain isn't trying to torture you, it's trying to reduce uncertainty. Because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. So your brain starts creating explanations, even when there isn't enough information. Ironically, the smarter your brain becomes at generating possibilities, the harder it becomes to stop generating them. Have you ever met someone, and within 5 minutes, you already had a strange feeling about them? Not because of what they said, but because of how they said it. Tiny pauses, body posture, eye movement, their energy. Psychologists believe our brains constantly read nonverbal signals without us realizing it. Highly aware people often process these signals faster than average. They notice inconsistencies. Someone says they're excited, but their shoulders are tense. Someone smiles, but only with their mouth. Someone says they're listening, while checking the exit every few seconds. Your brain quietly combines hundreds of little clues. It feels like intuition. but much of it is actually unconscious observation. It's less like magic and more like your brain doing detective work behind the scenes. Here's something most people don't realize. The brain uses a huge amount of energy. Now imagine your brain constantly analyzing every room, every conversation, every facial expression, every possibility. That's exhausting. It's like leaving 50 apps open on your phone all day. Eventually, the battery drains. That's why highly aware people often need quiet time. Not because they dislike people, but because their brain has been processing information nonstop. Sometimes, doing absolutely nothing feels like the most productive thing in the world. Here's where things become tricky. Awareness itself isn't anxiety, but awareness can feed anxiety. Imagine noticing every possible thing that could go wrong. You notice someone's mood changed. You notice your heartbeat. You notice people whispering. You notice your own mistakes. Then your brain starts asking, what if? And once your brain discovers what if, congratulations. It now has unlimited content. What if they hate me? What if I sounded stupid? What if something bad happens tomorrow? The funny thing is, your imagination has no budget limit. It can create disasters for free, all day, every day. Despite all the overthinking, highly aware people often have incredible strengths. They notice opportunities others miss. They're usually good listeners. They understand emotions deeply. They're often creative because creativity depends on seeing connections. Many artists, writers, psychologists, designers, and great storytellers share this habit of noticing details others overlook. The goal isn't to stop being aware. The goal is learning which thoughts deserve your attention and which deserve to be ignored. Because not every alarm your brain sounds is an actual emergency. So, what makes someone too aware? It's usually not just intelligence, and it's not simply anxiety. It's a combination of attention, pattern recognition, emotional sensitivity, curiosity, and a brain that's constantly searching for meaning. Sometimes that makes life richer. You notice beauty others walk past. You understand people more deeply. You connect ideas no one else sees. But sometimes your own brain becomes so busy analyzing the world that you forget to actually live in it. The strange truth is, the goal isn't to notice everything, because no human can. The real skill is knowing when to stop looking for hidden meanings and simply experience the moment. So here's a question for you. Do you think you're someone who's too aware? Or do you think your brain just likes creating stories out of tiny details? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed exploring the psychology behind everyday human behavior, don't forget to subscribe. Because sometimes the most fascinating mystery you'll ever study is your own mind.